If talking about money makes your chest tighten or your brain go foggy, you're not broken. That stress response is financial anxiety, and it has more to do with your nervous system than your budgeting app. You're not bad with money. You're anxious around money, and those are two very different things. This episode is your permission slip to stop shaming yourself for financial stress and start understanding it instead.
Welcome to your Money on Easy mode with Damien.
We're diving into the emotional roots of money anxiety and how it shows up in everyday life, from avoiding bills to obsessing over budgets. We'll break down why your brain goes into fight, flight, or spreadsheet mode and how to gently interrupt that cycle. You'll get real-world tools like mindfulness, habit stacking, and the surprisingly powerful act of self-compassion. No shame, no overwhelm, just small, doable steps that help you feel more in control of your money and your mindset. Let's start with that pit in the stomach feeling many of us know too well, financial anxiety. Many of you break into a sweat opening your banking app, or you procrastinate looking at your student loan balance until, well, never. Financial anxiety is essentially feeling nervous, on edge, or even panicky when dealing with money matters. A little of this is normal, like a quick jolt of, did I pay that bill? But chronic anxiety around money can really mess both with your finances and peace of mind. In fact, research shows that the more anxious someone is about money, the more likely they are to avoid dealing with it. It's a catch-22. You're too anxious to look at your money, but avoiding it makes you even more anxious in the long run. Yikes. So how do we break that cycle and reduce financial anxiety? First, focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. I know it sounds cliche, but it's huge. You can't change how the stock market performs or whether Amazon is going to lay off more people. You can't single-handedly stop a recession or control inflation, but you can take concrete steps like building up an emergency fund, revisiting your budget, or diversifying your income streams. Think of it like this. You can't stop the rain, but you can carry an umbrella. Focusing on actionable steps, your financial umbrella, helps to tame that helpless feeling. Next, recognize the two common anxiety-driven extremes, procrastination or perfectionism. Financial anxiety often pushes people into one of these two camps, and sometimes both. Either you procrastinate money tasks, like ignoring an unpaid bill, avoiding checking your accounts because it's just too stressful, or you go into perfectionist overdrive, spending 5 hours refining a spreadsheet or researching every investment to death because you're terrified of making a mistake. Neither of these extremes is healthy. If you're the procrastination type, try breaking tasks into tiny, non-scary steps. Tell yourself you'll just spend 10 minutes reviewing your subscriptions or updating one part of your budget. Often taking that small first step is the hardest part. Once you start, you realize it's not as awful as your anxious brain had imagined. If you tend towards perfectionism, practice giving yourself a reality check. It's okay if your plan isn't 100% optimal or if you're not a financial genius. A lot of the I'll do it later procrastination is really fear of not doing it perfectly. Remind yourself that done is better than perfect, and mistakes are how we learn. No one's grading your personal finance homework. Getting through it imperfectly is a win. Another fantastic tool against money anxiety is mindfulness. Yep, that thing where you breathe and stay in the moment. It actually works for money stress too. When you notice yourself spiraling into worry, like, I'll never have enough, I'm so bad with money, what if X, Y, and Z happen? Pause. Take a few deep breaths, ground yourself. Maybe even do a quick meditation before diving into a money task. Studies have found that mindfulness practices, deep breathing, short meditations, or simply observing your thoughts can reduce stress and help interrupt negative financial thought patterns. For example, if checking your accounts makes you anxious, Try this. Sit comfortably, inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and do that for a minute or two. Then open your account and just observe the numbers without judgment. It might sound a little woo-woo, but it helps calm the psychological panic response. By staying present, you can respond to the facts. Okay, maybe my balance is X amount. What do I want to do next? Instead of reacting to the fear, I'll never be good at this. Self-compassion is a strategy here too. Believe it or not, being kind to yourself can directly reduce financial anxiety. Many of us beat ourselves up over money mistakes. Ugh, I racked up how much in credit card debt? I'm so stupid with money. That inner critic is brutal. Research shows that shaming and scolding yourself is not motivating. In fact, it often makes you freeze or give up. Ever notice that feeling guilty about overspending can lead you to avoid looking at your bills? That's shame at work, and it tends to breed avoidance, which then breeds more anxiety. It's a vicious loop. The antidote is treating yourself with the same understanding that you'd offer to a friend. You might say, okay, I got off track and that's all right. I can take small steps to fix this. This kind of kind self-talk isn't fluffy nonsense. It literally helps your brain feel safer and calmer so you can actually take action instead of hiding. Finally, a super practical anxiety reducer. Take action, even a tiny one. Anxiety often comes from a sense of powerlessness. By doing something, you prove to yourself that you're not powerless. It can be really small. Set up a $20 automatic transfer to savings, or call to ask about a bill that you don't understand, or check your credit report. Interestingly, even a modest step like putting a little money aside can start easing anxiety because you get that, hey, I did a thing, confidence boost. When you take just one step, say starting an emergency fund with whatever you can afford, you will feel a bit of relief almost immediately. And it's not because $100 in savings solves all your problems, but because you've shown yourself you're capable of taking charge. You move from a victim of money to an active participant, and that mental shift is golden. Quick question. If someone handed you $10,000 right now, would you know exactly what to do with it? Honestly, most people don't. And that uncertainty, well, that can cost you big time. So that's why I created something free just for you. Yes, F-R-E-E. And that is my Easy Mode Money Ladder. The Easy Mode Money Ladder is a simple step-by-step guide to help you figure out exactly what to do with your money and when. This is not a boring budget worksheet. This is a no-fluff guide that tells you exactly when to build your emergency fund, how much to put in it, the best way to crush your debt, and the steps you need to take, which aren't that complicated, to start growing real long-term wealth. All of this one simple step at a time. No matter where you are in your money journey, this guide is for you. It will help you plan your next money move with confidence. And did I mention that it's free? Yep, totally free and will always be free. If you want this guide, and I think you should, then go to my show notes and click on the link to my Stan store. That's simply my internet storefront where I give away this guide for free. Download it, follow it, and let's put your money on easy mode. Now, back to the show. Let's talk about creating financial wellness through sustainable habits. Basically, making money management a part of your life in a way that doesn't make you miserable. We want to move from short-term, frantic fixes to steady, feel-good routines. Have you ever tried a crash diet for your finances? You know, like those months where you decide, that's it, I'm spending $0 on anything fun, I will only eat rice and beans, I will save 70% of my income. It lasts about 2 weeks before you rebel and go on a spending spree because deprivation is terrible. It's a classic budget yo-yo effect. 1 month you're ultra frugal, the next month you're like, treat yourself, I suffered enough. Consistency beats intensity. Much like fad diets tend to fail, but moderate healthy eating is effective, the same goes for money. So the key word here is sustainable. A sustainable financial habit is one that you can stick with for the long haul. Not just a week of penny pinching, but something that becomes as routine as brushing your teeth. It should fit your life without too much friction. Some examples: setting up a weekly money check-in. Maybe every Sunday evening you spend 20 minutes reviewing your accounts and planning the week's spending. Or doing a monthly budget date with yourself or your partner. Or simply making it a rule to pay yourself first. Automatically put a slice of your paycheck into savings every month. Even something as minor as checking your bank balance each morning with your coffee can be a healthy habit because it keeps you aware and engaged. The point is to do these things regularly so money isn't just this thing that occasionally blows up in a crisis. It's a normal, manageable part of your life. Now let's bring in the concept of financial self-care. We usually think of self-care as yoga, bubble baths, and sleeping in. Nice stuff. But real self-care also includes the not so glamorous stuff that pays off later, like exercising or cleaning your room, or taking care of your finances. View tending to your money as an act of self-care. Why? Because money and mental health are deeply connected. When your finances are a mess, you're chronically stressed. It affects your sleep, your relationships, your overall well-being. Conversely, when you feel in control of your money, your stress reduces, you gain confidence and peace of mind. Doing things like budgeting, saving, or investing can actually boost your mental health by providing structure and security. When we practice financial self-care, like setting financial boundaries or automating our savings, we improve our overall life stability and reduce anxiety. Think of it as taking care of future you. You're showing yourself love by making sure you'll be okay down the road. So here's the balance. Self-care also implies kindness and moderation. It's not self-care to obsessively check your portfolio 10 times a day or berate yourself for every expense. It is self-care to create a sensible budget that includes joy and fun so you don't feel deprived. It is self-care to say no to financial commitments that overwhelm you. For example, maybe your friends are planning an expensive group vacation that you really can't afford. Financial self-care might mean having an honest conversation and bowing out or suggesting a cheaper alternative, rather than going and then experiencing months of stress as you pay it off. Setting that boundary is caring for yourself. Here's another aspect. Make money moves easy and automatic where possible. Automating your finances is like the ultimate life hack for sustainability. When your paycheck is directly deposited and a portion immediately goes to a 401k or savings or to pay bills, you remove willpower from the equation. Less effort and consistent results. That's sustainable by design. If you have to manually remember to transfer money each month, you might do it for a bit and then forget when life gets busy. So direct deposits, auto transfers, and auto bill pay use these tools to handle the heavy lifting in the background. Also consider habit stacking. Attach a financial habit to something you already do. For instance, every time you brew your morning coffee on a payday, log in and review your budget or transfer money to savings while sipping that coffee. It becomes a what you do on payday mornings. Or every Friday after work, when you might normally chill with a beer or a tea, spend 15 minutes updating your expense tracker. Because it's paired with a wind down routine, it'll feel less like a chore and more like just another part of your Friday ritual. Are you still making minimum payments and getting nowhere on your pile of debt? Let's change that. If your credit card balance feels like a boss fight that you just can't win, well, I made something for you. It's called the Easy Mode Guide to Destroy Your Debt, and it gives you the exact plan to break free. In this 23-page guide, we'll bust through common myths, learn step-by-step strategies, and you'll discover how to pay off your debt faster, without shame, overwhelm, or giving up everything that you enjoy. Whether you're into the snowball method, the avalanche method, or have no idea what either of those mean, this guide is for you. If you're ready to finally start paying down your debt, then this guide speaks plain English and delivers results. It's just $19.99 and it's available in my storefront. If you click the link down below to enter my stand store, you'll see a big green button to purchase the guide. Please don't let another month slip by with no progress. Hit pause on this video, scroll down to the show notes, and click the link to download this guide. Now back to the show. Let's address the importance of gradual progress. You don't need to transform everything overnight. In fact, please don't. Pick one new habit at a time. It could be as modest as, I will check my bank account twice a week, or I will put an extra $50 towards debt this month, or I'll start using a shopping list to curb impulse buys. Once that becomes routine, then add another. Over a year, these tiny habits compound. Don't underestimate the power of tiny gains. Improve 1% at a time, and eventually you're in a whole new place financially without the burnout of trying to be perfect all at once. And give yourself credit along the way. Seriously, celebrate wins, even the small ones. Did you stick to your budget this week? High five. Did you resist that unnecessary purchase? Go you. Paid off a debt? Woohoo! Definitely celebrate that. Maybe not by taking on new debt to reward yourself, but do mark the occasion. Have a nice dinner at home or tell your friends. Positive reinforcement makes habits more likely to stick. Too often we only focus on what's wrong, but acknowledging progress keeps you motivated to continue. Now, reward within reason. If you hit a milestone, say you saved $500 or you went a month without overdrafting, treat yourself to something affordable that makes you happy. It could be a movie night or a fancy latte. It sends a signal to your brain that good financial behavior leads to positive outcomes and feelings, not just sacrifice. Lastly, realize that building financial wellness is an ongoing journey, not a destination. There's no point where you say, all right, I'm done. I never have to think about money again. It's like physical fitness or mental health. You maintain it. But it does get easier. Those habits that feel awkward at first become second nature. Checking your accounts takes 2 minutes and doesn't spike your blood pressure anymore. Budgeting maybe becomes almost fun? Okay, fun might be a stretch for some, but at least satisfying. You start seeing results. An emergency fund gets built, debts shrink, your goals get closer, and that feels awesome. That feeling will motivate you to keep at it. And if you slip up because life happens, guess what? Part of sustainable wellness is resilience and flexibility. You can get back on track. Fell off the budget wagon for a month? Just restart. No guilt trip is needed. Unexpected expense wiped out your savings? It's frustrating, yes. Maybe allow yourself a good vent or a cry, then recalibrate the plan and rebuild. Self-care financially also means not beating yourself up when curveballs come. It means taking care of your emotional state during setbacks so you can bounce back and keep going. Financial anxiety doesn't mean you're bad with money. It means your brain is doing its best to protect you, but you're not stuck with that stress spiral. From micro habits to mindfulness to redefining financial self-care, you've got tools to ease the pressure and move forward one kind, doable step at a time. The real win isn't fixing everything overnight. It's showing up for your future self, even in small ways. Sustainable progress beats panic every time. So pick one tiny financial habit to try this week. Whether it's a 10-minute budget check or automating a small savings transfer, then hit subscribe and share this episode with a friend who needs a little money calm in their life too. See ya!
Thanks for listening to Your Money on Easy Mode. If you enjoyed this episode, then please subscribe and share it with a friend.